The sky opens like a silent battlefield, where altitude becomes an absolute advantage. An eagle appears, its wings locking into the wind, turning space itself into an unseen force. A precisely timed dive follows, where speed and angle decide everything in a split second. On the ground, the prey formation begins to falter, and the one that loses rhythm gradually fades into the grass. Within this harsh cycle of survival, who truly commands the sky? The eagle rules the sky, with a wingspan reaching about 7 feet, and vision several times sharper than that of humans. It glides along rising thermal currents, traveling for miles while using minimal energy. Its curved beak and talons are evolutionary tools for control, not for display. Within the ecosystem, it regulates prey populations by removing weakened individuals, maintaining balance from a quiet height above. In the dense forests of Africa, monkeys are athletes of the canopy. Their bodies are flexible. Their reflexes are fast. Long leaps spanning dozens of feet allow them to move continuously between layers of leaves, rarely staying still long enough to reveal an opening. Living in groups of around 10 individuals, monkeys rely on height and the forest's chaos as their safest shield. From above, the African crowned eagle watches in silence. It selects its approach angle, using tree cover and shifting air currents to conceal its final movement. Hook-shaped talons close in a single instant. The encounter is not decided by speed alone. Within the dense web of branches, the crowned eagle navigates with precision, turning confined space into an advantage. This skill is sufficient to overcome even the most firmly anchored animals, such as sloths, whose claws can reach about 4 inches in length. When targeting sloths, the eagle approaches from above and applies a powerful pull to separate the animal from its hold, a method entirely different from its approach to agile canopy dwellers. The pursuit ends quickly, a reminder that even the highest layers of the rainforest have never been an absolute refuge. Along sheer cliff faces, where oxygen becomes a rare luxury, the golden eagle and the wedge-tailed eagle are among the few predators willing to challenge large animals. With wingspans exceeding 7 feet and exceptional lift, they turn mountain slopes into a 3-dimensional arena where a single misstep can be enough to reverse dominance. Their target is the mountain goat, weighing around 110 pounds, a master of balance and persistence. Split hooves and high friction pads allow it to cling firmly to rock ledges less than 3 inches wide, moving as if reading every crack in the stone. Here, danger does not come from speed, but from space itself. Every escape route is steep and painfully short. From the air above, the eagle observes in silence. Its vision can detect movement from distances of up to 1.5 miles, locking onto younger individuals or those that drift from the group. Encounters often unfold near the cliff edge, where advantage is as thin as a breath. The downward dive uses gravity and angle, turning the mountainside into a cold channel of pressure. When facing an adult that is too firmly grounded, a single close approach is not enough. The eagle must rely on calculated risk, working in pairs, shifting timing, and guiding the opponent to carry its own weight into unstable ground. One brief loss of balance is all it takes for the cliff to decide the outcome, and the prize is carried back to the nest, where the wind never stops moving. Under the harsh sun along the riverbank, the air seems to thicken. On the open ground, a lizard cautiously leaves its burrow to warm itself. For this cold-blooded reptile, temperature is not merely favorable, it is essential for survival. But exposing itself in open space also means stepping into view. From the air above, amber eyes watch in silence. The eagle holds a steady altitude, waiting with patience. There is no rush. Only when the lizard moves farther from shelter does the moment truly arrive. The decisive instant comes without sound. The eagle folds its wings and lets gravity lead the way. In the dive, speed rises beyond roughly 90 miles per hour, turning its body into a precise, guided spear. A passing shadow cuts across the ground, breaking the stillness of midday. If a final tail movement occurs in reflex, the strong beak quickly secures the head, maintaining control. The encounter ends cleanly, and the ground returns to its earlier quiet once more. Across the sun-scorched savanna, life is measured in seconds of awareness. Bucks and impalas are dancers of the grasslands, staying in constant motion to avoid being fixed as a target. An adult impala weighs around 140 pounds, with powerful hind legs capable of reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour and leaping nearly 10 feet in a single bound. Yet that very speed can create openings. A newborn calf slips out of rhythm with the herd while crossing an exposed stretch of ground. Nearby, a martial eagle quickly detects the separation. It maintains altitude, watching in silence, waiting for the right moment. Without a protective ring and without sufficient reflexes, the young individual is immediately at a disadvantage. In another moment, the mother impala turns back, placing herself between the predator and her calf. Sudden changes of direction and repeated lateral jumps disrupt the aerial approach, forcing the eagle to reassess risk in an instant. On the savanna, prolonged hesitation is not an option, but one brief lapse is enough to shift the balance. The eagle uses the narrow opening, commits decisively, and lifts away from the ground, carrying the calf to a position beyond interference. Across the plains of North America, when winter blankets the land beneath a thick, white layer of snow, silence settles over everything. Standing out against the cold expanse is the fox, a compact survival machine weighing around 13 pounds. At this moment, its large ears rotate constantly like radar, capable of detecting faint sounds from more than 50 yards away, locking full attention onto subtle signs of life hidden beneath the frozen ground. That absolute focus creates an advantage, but it also opens a gap in survival. As the fox's vision narrows towards the snow below, the sky above disappears from awareness. From hundreds of feet overhead, a golden eagle recognizes that instant. It glides in silence, wings partially drawn, allowing sunlight and shifting air to conceal its approach. The decisive moment arrives quickly. The eagle adjusts its trajectory in the final second, using speed and gravity to full effect. Every tactic of the ground hunter loses meaning beneath aerial dominance. Wings spread wide, then close the remaining distance, asserting complete control from above. Coyotes, by contrast, often move in close to contest access near food sources or den sites. When challenged, the eagle expands its wingspan to amplify its size, holds just enough height, then drives powerful bursts of air downward, forcing the opponent to hesitate. Most encounters end with both sides retreating to their respective safe boundaries, a reminder that in the wild, victory is measured by energy preserved for tomorrow, not by display alone. Hunting snakes is one of nature's harshest gambles, where the line between hunter and hunted is measured in fractions of a second. On sun-heated ground, species such as cobras and vipers coil their bodies like compressed springs, ready to deliver an instant response to any mistake. The contest does not remain confined to land. Far offshore, the same decisive grasp appears in a different form. When a sea snake rises to the surface to breathe, it briefly enters the range of the white-bellied sea eagle. The hunter calculates the refraction of light through the water with precision, then dives through the air in a single controlled descent. Talons lock behind the head, lifting the snake clear of the ocean. These encounters reveal a consistent truth. The ruler of the sky always finds a way to assert complete control. A roar cuts through the air, The game begins, and the lion is the one setting the rules. It charges straight in, closing the distance like a heavy hammer, the target's formation collapsing in total panic. A precisely timed pounce shuts down every escape, powerful paws holding firm as a decisive move ends the chase. When another predator approaches, the lion drives it back without hesitation, every step forward reclaiming control. When the throne is challenged, the clash erupts, and only one question remains: who can hold their ground? Lions are among the rare social predators in the cat family, living in pride structures whose collective strength can exceed 400 pounds. Their massive bodies, short bursts of speed, and jaws capable of delivering a bite force close to 1,000 pounds per square inch give them an advantage in critical moments. Yet their greatest strength does not lie in muscle, but in the quiet coordination between individuals, especially the females. Within the African ecosystem, lions are both dominant and regulating, shaping the rhythm of life across the plains. Spotted shadows appear like living arrows, skimming close to the ground with an untiring rhythm. African wild dogs, each weighing around 60 pounds, are capable of sustaining speeds near 45 miles per hour during long pursuits. Their strength does not lie in any single individual, but in tight formation and a hunting success rate approaching 80%. Yet that precision always meets a boundary known as dominance. From the edge of the brush, a massive muscular presence steps forward. The lion does not need to match speed. Its mere presence is enough to disrupt the rhythm of the entire pack. One moment out of sync, one individual falling behind, is enough for overwhelming force to seal the fate of a single member. Tension rises when the paths of the two species intersect near a denning area. Lionesses show no tolerance, pressing forward through sheer physical authority and forcing the wild dogs to break formation to preserve their lives. After brief confrontations along the edge of the territory, the pack chooses retreat, traveling more than 30 miles a day toward areas with lower lion density. They accept short-term hunger in exchange for safety. This is not just an encounter, but a test of spatial control. Lions regulate pressure on wild dog populations, while wild dogs, through discipline and sharp awareness, survive by knowing when to withdraw, adapting with remarkable skill under the shadow of a giant. Fast like an explosion. The cheetah stands as the symbol of pure speed. Weighing around 120 pounds, with a spine that flexes like a spring, it accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 3 seconds, one of nature's most remarkable mechanical feats. But the price of that burst is fragility. After every chase, body temperature rises sharply, forcing the cheetah to stop and recover in the open plains. It is in that vulnerable pause that the lion enters. Without competing for speed, it imposes dominance through mass, strength, and sheer presence. Once the cheetah is exhausted, its only advantage disappears instantly, leaving a split-second choice: abandon the hard-won prey or face immediate danger. That is why, after bringing down a target, the cheetah must eat quickly, refuel, and withdraw before other predators arrive. A single moment of delay is enough to lose everything. On the African plains, speed allows the cheetah to survive, but it does not guarantee safety. Power and authority still belong to the lion, while the cheetah holds its place only through constant vigilance and careful judgment with every run across a land that does not forgive mistakes. In the world of lions, the greatest threat sometimes doesn't come from another species, but from those of the same bloodline. When an invisible boundary is crossed or breeding rights are challenged, the atmosphere of the plains tightens instantly. At that point, confrontation is no longer a choice, but a biological inevitability. When a new coalition of male lions emerges, often an ambitious pair or trio, they do not arrive to ask for a place. They come to take the throne. The reigning kings are pushed into a corner on their own land, where every step back is not just a loss of territory, but the collapse of an entire dynasty. A fully grown warrior delivers powerful strikes carrying the weight of destiny itself, enough to make a rival hesitate in an instant. But these struggles rarely end with a single decisive blow. They become battles of endurance, closing in, forcing angles, and locking against each other with immense pressure. The plains turn into a vast tactical arena, where the wiser contender exploits every brief pause in an opponent's breathing to wear down resolve. When the dust finally settles and the outcome is clear, the weaker side withdraws, yielding control to the new coalition. From here, a new and turbulent chapter begins. Young offspring tied to the former order are removed without hesitation. This is not a story of emotion, but an evolutionary mechanism designed to optimize time and resources in a harsh environment. At the ecological level, these internal confrontations are nature's way of renewing bloodlines and re-establishing order. The balance of the plains is not always preserved through peace, but through intense conflict, ensuring that only the strongest foundations are allowed to endure. Across the vast plains, there exists a long-standing rivalry that is nearly impossible to resolve. Lions and hyenas do not compete only for food, they compete for status. Here, every meal is a statement of power, and every struggle can reverse in an instant. The hunter of today can become the one under pressure tomorrow. Spotted hyenas are the strategists of the plains. A full-grown individual weighs around 140 pounds, possesses a bite force close to 1,100 pounds per square inch, and lives within large matriarchal societies. Their strength doesn't lie in a single charge, but in numbers, endurance, and disciplined coordination. When conditions favor them, they advance in formation, vocalizing, pressing in, limiting retreat, and using sound and movement to wear down lionesses' resolve, then claiming the meal in a takeover that unfolds right on the open ground. The balance often shifts when the roar of a male lion carries from several miles away. A single massive silhouette stepping forward can cause the hyena formation to hesitate, as numerical advantage begins to fracture under overwhelming presence and fearless authority. To maintain long-term control, lions also tighten their hold around denning areas along territorial edges, forcing hyenas to spread out and remain constantly alert, curbing the future strength of large, resilient hunting clans at the source. It is an unending dance of survival, where collective intelligence and individual power contest every stretch of the plains. A lion's prey can range from antelope to zebra, but this time the challenge stands on an entirely different scale. An adult giraffe. Weighing more than 2,500 pounds, many times heavier than a single lion, this giant renders individual strength ineffective. Against such overwhelming size, solo power means little. Only coordination and precise calculation create an opening. The approach unfolds in silence. Using uneven terrain to their advantage, the pride spreads out, closing the circle like a tightening clamp. As the distance narrows, the air grows tense. Yet the giraffe does not yield easily. Its towering legs, like massive pillars, deliver powerful kicks capable of stopping any careless predator. The struggle becomes a test of endurance. The lions do not rush. They focus on disrupting balance, gradually wearing down stability. One unsteady step is all it takes for nature's order to shift. It is a lesson in persistence. When facing challenges of immense scale, unity, and intelligent strategy are the only tools capable of turning the impossible into reality.
La harpie.
Across the natural
Il
world,
requiert beaucoup
the eagle stands as a
séparant le
symbol
turet
of survival
pour faire de la place à la
lived at the
prochaine
very
porte.
edge
Ce
of
petit a encore
limits.
du chemin à faire.
What sets it apart is not
Il
raw
vit.
strength, but vision, timing, and the ability
las
to
águilas.
read the
Los
terrain
muflones, que
correctly.
quizá por esta razón
Each encounter passes like a quiet trace, helping maintain the steady rhythm of nature's balance. When wings spread across open air,
If he manages
the
to
order
inject
of the
his
natural
venom,
world
he could
seems
kill his
reserved
abductor.
for another day.
Eagles
Strive
are
to stay
precise
connected to the
hunters.
sky.
Thing. And sometimes, neither do I.